Alice Shund. I'm a Chief Nursing Officer. Currently, I'm the Sub-County Public Health Nurse for Dagoretti Sub-County. Thank you for giving me that opportunity, at least to share my experience, challenges. Sometimes back when we had the COVID pandemic, I was deployed to Kibera South Health Center, which had been identified as an isolation center for patients who were suffering from COVID. On the first day, it wasn't easy. We met there on the first day. As a team, I had newly employed nurses, about 15 of them, very young ones, and 2 doctors. I had also another team lead by the name Mangati, and it was really a confusion because none of us had nursed a COVID patient. There was a lot that was going around that this is a killer disease, you perish within a few hours. However, we had undergone like a 3-day training just to orientate us on what is COVID, how to manage, how to use PPEs. But all in all, we are human beings. We had our own emotions and feelings. And it wasn't easy, as somebody may think, because I'm a mother. And looking at the young staff that had been employed to take care of the COVID patient, I was seeing like these are my children. And I had a lot of support on my side and on the side of my staff. One of the things that was ringing in my mind is that, okay, I need to put this place in order, because anytime we were expecting patients to start trickling in, we were given a facility. So I needed to identify rooms, set beds, do the signage, which room is for which service. I needed to get away how these patients are going to feed. I needed also to get away how they will be transferred, which facility will I transfer these patients, especially the critical ones who need ICU, because I knew that was just an isolation center. And most likely we were to get patients who are critically ill that we need to transfer out. So many things were lingering in my mind as a team lead. Am I going really to achieve? How am I going to handle these patients? So I had an introduction meeting with my staff. We set the rooms, we made the beds, we did the signage, we identified which wing for male, which wing for female. Of course, not forgetting that even our own healthcare workers were going to be affected, and we needed also to set a room for our own healthcare workers. So it took me 4 days and everything was set. And on that 4th day, we received 3 clients or 3 patients. That is when I noticed we did not have enough oxygen cylinders. We had only about 2, although we had placed our request for procurement or for supplies of more oxygen cylinders. So lucky enough, the oxygen saturation levels for the 3 patients were not bad. Only 1 required oxygen, and our team managed to fix. So at least it was a matter of urgency. I did a call to our county director, who made sure we got some cylinders from Mama Lucy, from Bagadi. So at least in that day, we received 10 more oxygen cylinders, and I knew we were well to go. So I was at a crossroad, which drugs are supposed to be used, but I had a team of 2 MOH. So they told me they're going to treat according to the signs and symptoms. There's no worry, so long as we have oxygen and all that. all went on well, but it was not a soft landing as such. Personally, I had my own reservation that was ringing in my mind. I have a family, I have a husband, I have grown-up children. And the question that was running in my mind is, okay, suppose I get infected, what is going to happen? Is this call worthy to be exposed to such a dangerous disease? Am I the one going to infect my family? And it kept on going on in my head. But since it's a calling, I'm a nurse, and nursing has been my calling since I was a young child, I said, okay, I will go for it. I have grown-up children working. They told me, Ma'am, if it's your wish to serve the patients, we shall pray for you. But the challenge was my husband, who was like, must you do it? Why can't you resign? And I told him, resigning will not be a solution, because whether I'm in the house, at a given point, I will go to do shopping, I'll be on the supermarket and all that. I stand to be infected even if I'm not a nurse. So we discussed, and I told my husband I was ready to move into a hotel, because we were being given a provision of moving from your family and staying in a hotel so that you can come from the hotel to work in your facility. So I told my husband, there is that provision, I can move, pack and move to the hotel. I'll work from the hotel until I finish my assignment. He was so quiet, so reserved. But after some days, he told me, it's okay. This house has got so many bedrooms. You don't need to work from a hotel. Then, of course, I appreciated for him considering that. So I had to move some of my stuff from my major matrimonial bedroom to another bedroom in our house, at least what I needed, what I knew I require most. And I made sure there was a provision bathroom outside, so that when I come from duty, from my vehicle, I just go to the bathroom, I do my laundry there, I bathe, then I go straight to my bedroom. So it wasn't easy, knowing that I've been in this marriage for over 30 years. I've never had such like separating bedrooms and all that. But because of my nursing calling, I had to do it. So it went on like that, with a lot of support from my husband. As much as we could communicate on the phone, I come in, I say hi, I take my food, I eat, I go to my bedroom, just to evaluate what is going on. Are we doing the right thing for our clients? What do I need to know more? So I kept on calling different people to add more knowledge, so that at least we could take good care of our patients. At our place of work, we had our support from the county, from the sub-county MOH, from the county directors. All the doctors were there for us every day, calling, coming even on the ground, although they could not go inside the wards, but they could come to my office, we discuss. Patients came in so many. There's a time we had even a capacity of around 60 patients, some of them pregnant women, old age, and even some of our staff from Bagati, from Mama Lucy, and other health centers. So actually this was a burden on me. I was looking at it. If I failed the patient, I failed my county, I failed my government. So long as I accepted that I'm in for it, I should do my best. If I was to die, let me leave a mark that I did my best. So my low moments came when one of the patients, as I was doing the changing of, I was assisting one of the nurses to do bed making. As we were to change that patient, just did a sign language just to call me. We had not reached his bed. And I went near and told him, give me a paper and a pen, I write my will. Give me a paper and a pen, I write my will. In a very low tone. And I think it didn't sink in me. Why he was demanding for a paper and pen to do the last will. Then I think I reverted back and said, what is it? Told me, Sina nguvu. Sister, sina nguvu. I told him, you are going to be okay. I dashed out because we were only nurses who were doing the bed making. I dashed out to go and look at the MOH was in the room. So I went, I told our MOH, he's sick, and he's saying he's just weak. Just come in, doctor. Doctor told me what are the saturation levels of oxygen. I dashed back again to the ward and was saturating now at around 68. So I went back again. I told the doctor, please come. The saturations are going down. Kept on looking at me. I went at the bed. I told him, you are not going to die. We are going to do our best. And he kept on looking at me. Weakening, the eyes were just going. You see, I'm just looking at, just like weakening. I went back again to the staff room. Then we came back, the doctor was there. It was weak, he could not talk. I've not given him a paper to do the will. I've called the doctor. I think we are not doing much. So I was just doing the reassuring part of it. Then eventually, doctor, they did their best, did the resuscitation. Within like a span of 22 minutes, was dead. This is a death that I will never forget. It's a health man who came in very healthy. Yes, he had COVID, but he was very strong. As they were resuscitating, I was looking for an ICU bed at Kenyatta. Eventually, we were told we can refer them to Kenyatta or to KU. So I was looking for ICU bed at Kenyatta. I was busy on my call, trying to reach Kenyatta to get a bed for me. But unfortunately, we lost him at Kibera South Isolation Center. Sometimes I think our limitation was just oxygen and oral drugs, oral injectables. Later, after that, we had also like a meeting again. Then we all brainstormed. Lucky enough, everybody felt like there is something that maybe should be added in the management. And those were lab investigations. So that was that. We continued managing all the patients. Anytime I got a pregnant woman who had COVID-19, I was very cautious. This is a mother I do not want to manage in the isolation center because I knew I'm managing two lives. This is a mother I could refer to Kenyatta, I could refer to KU University for better management. I did not want that change of scenario where I'm going to lose a mother and a baby. So any pregnant woman who was COVID positive, On admission, the next assignment was to look for a bed to transfer to Kenyatta or KU University for better management. And on that area, I think I did well with my team. We did not lose any mother, neither any baby. At least all our mothers delivered safely, and they had live babies. So we nursed all our patients. I think in a duration of about 8 months, we had only lost about 6 patients. That is a big number. 6 is a big number because it's a life we have lost. We lost about 6 patients, different intervals. And of course, there is that bit of counseling the relatives. Some relatives could not come in to pick the bodies. Kibera South had only one room for holding the body before it's transferred to the mortuary that has been preferred by the relatives. So there are scenarios where relatives even were scared of coming just to fill the death certificate and tell us where to transfer the body. So in that scenario, if we call the relative, because we used to take the number of next of kin, if the relative does not come, then we were taking the bodies to the city mortuary. Then wait for the relatives to come and claim the body. So most of them stayed alone. The bodies stayed alone in the city mortuary. We don't blame the relatives. They were also scared of the infection. But some came, they were packed for the bodies together with the public health officers. They escorted them to dispose the bodies at their respective rural areas. Of course, the relatives were not touching the body. They were the public health officers who were doing the burying of the bodies. The burials, relatives hesitated to pick the bodies. Many bodies stayed at city mortuary for so long. But when they came inquiring what to do, we could give the notification, the death notification. They go to city mortuary. Then when they come that they want to pick the body, it was my mandate now to conduct the public health department so that we can get the public health officers to organize on how to assist the relatives to transport the body and bury. Of course, we know there were no funeral ceremonies. It was just arriving with the body and burying the body. Maybe the service could be done later. There was a limitation of the number of relatives who were to attend the funeral, a limitation of up to 20, 25 close family members. Even other area neighbors were not even allowed to attend. But all in all, I think I give all the glory to God. I was, I think, the old one out in that setup, because initially in the protocol, it had been said that anybody above 50 years should not work in isolation center. I was around 53. So I was wondering, I asked my boss, now I'm 53 already. I've been posted to team lead in the isolation center. What happened? And my boss told me, Alice, you have to go. God is with you. And I knew, yes, God is with me. And I worked for like 8 months in the isolation center with so many patients. I never contracted COVID. I came out clear. However, I lost a staff by the name Mr. Gitau, a widower who had just lost the wife to cancer about a year. Gitau was the only surviving parent. Unfortunately, we lost Gitau due to COVID. He came in driving, dyspneic, he could not breathe. We connected oxygen. We looked for an ICU bed in Kenyatta. We got. Gitau was transferred to Kenyatta, reached Kenyatta, and just said the last words to the colleague. One of the colleagues was the one transferring him. One of our nurses was the one transferring Gitau to Kenyatta. And Gitau told the nurse before he was wheeled to ICU, kindly, if I die, don't take my body back home. The graves will be too many for our children because I've already buried my wife there. Don't take me back home, bury me to Lang'ata. And actually, Gitau succumbed and we buried him in Lang'ata. So that is how bad the COVID was. It took us a lot of trauma, psychological trauma, a lot of fear. But all in all, we fought it as strong heroes. And we were able, out of the many patients we received, I think we lost a few, but we managed a big percentage that was discharged. My recommendation would be, COVID is still with us. We need more trainings, a lot of capacity building, so that we know the really details of managing. We have done it. We don't hesitate to do more classes because COVID virus are mutating every now and then. I know another one will come. Are we ready to handle it? We need a lot of capacity building, a lot of exposure, a lot of benchmarking, so that we can learn a lot of details on managing our patients and maybe getting a healing accuracy of maybe even 99%. And we appreciate our leadership at the top of the country, at the county, at the national. They did their best, actually. Because looking at the percentage of what we lost and other countries, we were even much better as compared to other countries. However, we need more of updates, more of the trainings, more of benchmarking in other countries. I'm a human being, let me not lie. COVID never left me strong. And I can say that if today I was told to go and work in an isolation center, no. I will support from another angle, but not inside an isolation center and not inside a COVID ward. Yeah, I think to some extent it left me more weaker. Just thinking, what is that we need to put in place to do the best for our patients? Thank God I did not lose anybody from my family. I did not infect anybody in my family. And I think as I went to that isolation center as a front warrior, God was with us. As much as we lost one of us, at least we had God's protection. And we really feel for the family of Gitau. We know the children are all alone now, but we have always done a follow-up to know how they are doing with the relatives, and they are doing well.